This video is intended to provide an overview of the first field action activity for social studies and fine arts CAT members. In this video, we'll review the purpose of our curriculum work specifically related to our CAT team. We'll do a high-level overview of our curriculum process. We'll review the norms of our CAT teams, and we'll go into topic cards, which is our first field action activity. I'm going to give you a moment to read this slide. This is the purpose of what we are doing here, and I'd like to highlight the idea that we are emphasizing content that is essential. That is our primary function. We are determining the content that is essential. So as we go through this process, we are focusing on content, not how you teach the content. So it's very important that we are able to separate what we are teaching from how we are teaching it. And that leads us to two very important vocabulary terms. When we talk about curriculum, we are focusing on what is being taught in the classrooms, not how it is being taught. So as we go through this process and we are discussing our curriculum, I'm going to be challenging you, and we are going to be challenging each other to really determine whether what we're talking about is what is being taught or how it's being taught. And so we're really going to have to concentrate on separating curriculum pieces from instructional pieces. So the curriculum document that we put together is really, it's only going to contain the what. It's going to only contain content. That is our goal. This whole process, again, is based on the CLI model. This is research-based. This is not something that I just made up. So this year you can expect to create topic cards. We will use those to build our walls, which is a visual representation of what's being taught in our classrooms. We will use those to start our alignment conversations, which will drive the process of us determining what is essential content at each grade level. Over the course of the year, we will meet as CAT teams 3 times. Each of those meetings will be approximately 1 hour in length. Because we are limited in our meeting time, there are 2 different activities that I'm going to ask you to do in between those meetings. The first I will introduce to you today, that I'm asking you complete prior to our first meeting on November 11th. And the second one I will ask you to complete following our November 11th meeting. There will be no plans for any further field action activities this year, but of course that's subject to change just depending on how the work progresses this year. And any summer work that we have will be determined by the group based on where we finish this year. As we move forward this year during our meetings, it's very important that we remember our group norms. Some of the conversations that we have could be difficult because we are determining what is essential at each grade level. That means sometimes compromises will have to be made, and oftentimes that can be difficult when we're talking about what we're teaching. It can be a very personal thing for us as classroom teachers, and so it's important that we remember why we're here. So number one, we are here for our students, and so it's essential that we keep kids at the center of our conversations, and we remember that our decisions need to be made based on what's best for students, not what's best for adults. We are limited in the time that we have together, so we need to make sure that we are making the most of it, and we need to be very cognizant of our time, and again, we make the most of the time that we have together. It's important that everyone actively participate. You may or may not believe in the process that we're going through, but this is your opportunity to have a voice in the curriculum that you will be responsible for teaching. So this is your chance to have a say. So if you want to take advantage of that, please actively participate. be open to ideas and compromises and explore various opinions. Those two norms go together. It's very important as we go through this process that we are all open to what other people have to say, that we are willing to listen, and that we are able to communicate with each other. Not everyone is going to get their way when we do group work and when we're deciding on things as a collective group. So it's important that we are able to communicate and listen to each other. At the end of each meeting, we are going to do a wrap-up to make sure that we all know where we're going, and if there is a field action activity, that we know what that is, and that we have a clear sense of purpose when we end the meeting. The first activity that I ask you to do is going to be creating what we call topic cards. I want to explain to you why these are important, because some of you may feel like it is busy work. These topic cards are very essential because they are going to drive everything else that we do up to the drafting of our curriculum. These topic cards are what we are going to use to create our visual representation of what is taught in our classroom, which is what we call our wall. So the topic cards will go together to create these walls, which again is the visual representation of what's taught in our classroom. These visuals will help us to have our conversations that will drive what we which will help us to determine what is essential in each or at each grade level. So that's how we're going to have our alignment conversations. That's how we're going to determine if we have any redundancies or gaps, or if there's anything that we need to really emphasize at each particular grade level, if there's anything that we need to move around. But again, to really hone in on what is essential. And then from there, we will use that information on the walls to draft our curriculum. So again, these topic cards, while it may feel like busy work, it is the foundation for the rest of the work that we're going to do up to drafting our curriculum. So this is a very busy slide, and I understand that, but this slide I have made copies of and laminated and stuck in your material packets because it is a slide that you're going to want to refer back to often as you're creating your topic card. So this is everything that you need to know about creating a topic card, and it does include an example that I pulled directly from one of our social studies surveys that was submitted from 3rd grade. So the first thing you're going to do when you're creating a topic card is you're going to choose the color of paper that corresponds with the standard strand that's addressed by the topic or skill. So in your materials packet that I've provided for you, you're going to have lots of colored strips of paper. So using the key below for either social studies or fine arts, depending on your content area, you're going to determine which topic or skill that you're about to write, which standard strand it correlates with, okay? And then you're going to take that piece of paper. So if it's a civic skill, you're going to take a light blue piece of paper for social studies, and you're going to write that topic or skill using the black marker that's provided in your materials packet. You're going to write that necessary information that describes the topic or skill. Please do not use sentences. We don't need any extra words. Just write the topic and any details that you need to make sure that you're clearly articulating that topic or skill in the center of the card. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to indicate the grade level just by writing the number. So in our example on the slide, you'll see that I used 3 for the 3rd grade. Then in the lower right-hand corner, for anyone that has, for any teachers, any grade levels where we have multiple teachers teaching the same course, you're going to indicate the number of teachers who teach this topic. So in 3rd grade, we have 2 teachers who both teach this topic. So we have 2 teachers out of 2 teachers that teach this same topic. That's what the 2 out of 2 means. Now, please be very honest on this, and it is okay, so say for kindergarten, if we only have 3 out of 5 teachers that teach a topic, that's perfectly fine because that's then a conversational piece that we have later. If 3 out of 5 teachers teach this topic, is it an essential skill to teach? Why do we have 3 teachers teaching it and not all 5? So those are all conversational pieces that we will have later. So it's important that we have that information and that we are honest about that information. Something you will notice is even though we are identifying the standard strand that the topic correlates with, we are not putting any kind of standard coding on these topic cards yet. That is intentional. Please do not write any kind of standard information on the topic card yet. That's something that we will do later through conversations that we'll have in our groups. Okay, that is a conversational activity, so don't do that as we're creating the topic cards. Okay, I did provide standards for you all in your materials packets as well. You can also find digital copies in your CAT folders. Those are in your CAT drives. Those are shared drives that you should all have access to. Here are some more examples of topic cards. Again, these were pulled directly from surveys that were submitted. And fine arts people, I apologize. I just realized these are all social studies related. So that is my bad. Fine arts people, if you would like some fine arts examples, I'm more than happy to provide you with some. If you need some fine arts specific examples to give you an idea of what you're doing. And if at any time you want me to come and sit with you and help you make a couple of these, or if you want me to come and look at some of your topic cards to provide feedback to make sure you're on the right track, or if you want to send me a picture of one when you've completed it just to make sure that you're on the right track, I'm more than happy to do that for you. So in summary, you also have a copy of this directions page in your materials packet as well. On November 11th, we will begin to construct our walls and assign standards to the skills taught. If there is time, we will assign standards, but we will definitely begin to construct our walls. In order to do this, everyone must have topic cards completed for your course. Between now and then, please create a topic card for each topic or skill that you teach in your course throughout the year, or semester if it's a semester-long course. To do this, those of you that completed your survey, just go through your survey and do this. It's going to be super simple. You'll just go right through your survey and fill out a topic card for everything that's on your survey. That's why I asked you to do this survey. So this would be a breeze, okay? If you completed your survey, this will take you no time at all. If you did not complete your survey, you'll need to pull out things like pacing guides, planning documents, scopes and sequences, course outlines, textbooks, any other information that will help you to complete this activity. In your mailboxes, you should have envelopes that have all of the materials in it that you need to complete this activity. If you did submit a survey, your survey has been printed and placed inside the envelope, in addition to standards, directions, examples, paper, and markers. If you need additional colored paper, please let me know and I will bring that over to you. For those of you that teach multiple courses, we are going to have walls for each course that you teach. So this is really a fine arts people. That means we're going to have multiple sets of cards for each course. Really, I would just love it if you could have one course completed by our November 11th meeting. If you get rolling and you can have multiple courses, awesome, rubber band those cards together for each course. But really our goal is just to have one done so we can go through the process of assembling the wall and see what that feels like for one course. I understand that you guys are teaching full-time and this is a lot to ask of you to do in addition to that. So one course is going to be plenty to have done by November. Again, if you have any questions, if you want some help getting started, if you need additional materials, or if you want some feedback on your topic cards, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. I am here to support you in any way that I can as we work through this process. Thank you and have a great day.